Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Come on, Maya, go. Go. Good evening, everyone. I am very happy that you all guys came here for this incredible event. This is an Edge Lead event that is meant for young professionals and then some. We have a crypto NFT blockchain conversation. We have experts in their fields that are here. And I'm going to have Tal, which is, she's co-in committee with me, and she's an incredible woman. I'm going to talk about her involvement with Edge and Lead, what made her join. And there's so many Tals here. There's Tal Yaari and Tal Navarro and another Tal. So I'm going to have this Tal over here talk about Edge Lead. And she's going to present the team over here. They're going to briefly speak about themselves for a minute. And then we're going to take it from there. And we're going to have half a minute. Daniela is going to talk about some responsibilities we have as leaders of the community. And we're going to start this incredible, incredible event. Thank you.
Thanks, Mickey. Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for coming. The reason that I'm here is to tell you what Edge and Lead are and why they're important. And you being here is already the first step in understanding why it's important, and that's to build our community. I am 27 years old. I was born and raised here in Los Angeles, and my identity was created through being an Israeli American and being around people like you. There's a few of my friends here as well, which the idea is to bring them in not only for the community aspect, but also for the young professional aspect. Everyone here is a professional and what they do, and the idea is also to be able to use our roots in our community together in order to continue to advance ourselves. So I encourage you to talk to someone that you haven't met before. I encourage you to introduce yourself, to explain what you do as a profession, because me personally, as someone who has I've seen the IAC and Edge and Lead from below, I always aspire to be a part of it. And now that I'm here, I am gaining by every person that I meet. So from me to you, thank you, and I encourage you to continue and do the same thing with everyone around. And Daniela?
Some basic rules. Keep your phone on silence, please. So vibration, close, whatever you want. You can feel free to take videos, live stream it, whatever you want. There is a QR code over there. You can scan it, and it will take you to a website where you can actually upload questions. And the questions will go to a moderator, and then he can review them, decide if it's something that is relevant for the entire audience, and he's going to slide it in the conversation over here. And Daniela.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is Daniela Bloom. And what I like to say is if you're still in California and you haven't moved to Florida or Texas, we are the frontliners, and there is no excuse not to vote in these primaries because silence is compliance. We have really great grassroots candidates for LA City Council, for school board, we have to get our sheriff renewed. So right now, the primaries are happening. You can start voting in person May 28th. It's all the way till June 7th. It dictates what happens in November. Again, you guys are our leaders, our future. I don't need to tell you that anti-Semitism is on the rise, especially in Los Angeles. Silence is compliance, no excuses. Everyone needs to vote. Thank you. If you want any recommendations, come see me.
So without further ado, Robin is going to take control, and he's going to introduce himself. He's going to talk about his background, which is really impressive, like the other three over here. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to take it from there.
Thank you very much, Mickey. So yeah, let's go down the line while I'll introduce ourselves. I will start off. My name is Robin Aronson. I am currently a staff software engineer at Coinbase. So I've got the sort of crypto side, but I'm also a filmmaker and an artist. So kind of bridge the gap between the sort of tech side and the artist side, which is one of the main things we're going to be talking about tonight. And yeah, down to you, Oz.
Hi, everyone. My name is Osnat Benari. I go by Oz here. I've been 8 years in the United States, based in Manhattan. I own a Web3 agency, and I help big brands go into Web3 and NFT. Also writing a book, so if you follow me, I would love your support. And happy to be here. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Is it working? No.
it's working? Okay, good. Hi, everyone. My name is Tal Navarro. I'm the CEO and the owner of Web3 and digital marketing agency Social Lady. I am also a host and a marketer on different websites and apps. That's it. That's more or less about me.
Hey guys, I'm Tal Yaari. We have lots of Tal here tonight. Be patient. I'm a producer and content creator of YZ content. I also explorer and doing some work in the NFT world and in the Metaverse world. Hopefully we'll dive into that later.
Yeah, so before we dive in too deep, I'm aware that crypto is a very, very complicated, kind of multifaceted field. I'm assuming there's kind of a wide range of people that have like a ton of knowledge or maybe no knowledge and are just sort of curious about the space. So before we get in too deep, we're going to go down the line and I'm going to ask each person to sort of like define one of the common terms so that we all have like a sort of a common set of vocabulary. So I'm going to start as the engineer. I'm going to try to describe the blockchain in like very simple layman's terms. So what is a blockchain? A blockchain is very simply just a type of database that has an easy mathematical way to prove that it has not been tampered with. So this is a very special thing in technology because it means that without a central authority vouching for something being true, there's a mathematical way to prove that it has not been messed with by anyone. So that's one of the properties of it. The second thing is a blockchain cannot be modified. It can just be added to. So there's no way to erase a past object that's been added to a blockchain. So what this enables, among other things, is for a bunch of data to exist out in a network of computers, and without a central authority saying this is true, this isn't true, you have the ability for a huge population of people to rely on this data being authentic so that it can describe things like ownership over an object or ownership over cash in a way where we sort of collectively agree that there is a specific truth that is sort of proven mathematically. So that was more than 30 seconds, but that is my attempt at explaining the blockchain. Let's go to you, Oz. What is Web3?
Okay. So in order to explain Web3, we'll start with Web 1. So Web 1 is what is the first days of the internet, or the initial iteration of the internet, which were websites, very much like, just a Rolodex of companies having websites, so you can go on the website and read about the company. It was mostly about their address and their messages and their content. Web 2 is what's been happening in the past 10 to 15 years, which is the ability not only to read, but also to write. So everything that we do on social media, all of our participation, so the Web 2 actually has read from Web 1, but also write from Web 2. What Web 3 brings is the actual ownership of the content, because in Web 2, when we were creating content on YouTube, when we were creating content on Instagram, on blogs, the content did not belong to us. It actually belonged to a centralized organization that held that information. In Web 3, the connection to the blockchain and the ability for us to actually prove something that is owned by someone else adds the ability for us to own the content that we do. And by owning it means that we can make profit from it in perpetuity. Hope that was clear.
That was perfect. Okay, so now to Tal Navarro. What is an NFT?
NFT stands for a non-fungible token. Now, when we are talking about something that is fungible, fungible means that you have another thing that is identical to the item itself. So non-fungible token means that it's a digital asset that has only one copy and only one asset like that in the whole blockchain. So a non-fungible token, an NFT, can be anything that you want. It can be a collectible, can be a wearable, Could be music, could be a picture, a JPEG, could be anything that you want, and that's why it's so beautiful, that the NFT world, that you have so much potential to do anything that you ever dreamed about.
Beautiful. And finally, Tal Yaari, what is the metaverse?
So actually, comparing to all those terms, I think metaverse is the one that's been here for the most time. Metaverse was created, the term metaverse was created 30 years ago in '92 in a science fiction book called Snow Crash. And ever since, the metaverse is here to stay. It's basically every virtual space or world or even universe that gives us the ability to be in a different reality. This reality can allow us to shop, play, even learn, do things that we are doing in our own reality, but define the rules in a different ways. So that's the basic explanation of metaverse. And again, it can be something which we haven't seen yet. It can be something that you've seen like in Ready Player One, if you've seen that movie before. And it can even be simple things like Minecraft or Fortnite. Those are examples for metaverse that we can elaborate how it affects the world of NFT and blockchain later on.
Nice. So now we're experts on all of these terms. Let's turn the focus a little bit to how this is actually affecting people's lives and like why this is important and why we should care about any of this stuff. So first question is for Tal Navarro. And the question is, what do you see Web3 doing for the world right now that you were the most excited about?
Wow. So many good things, so many amazing things. I mean, the NFT and the Web3 enables us to equalize when it comes to genders, there's no color, there's no language, there are no barrier when it comes to create, when it comes to investors, creators, people who are taking part of the NFT world. It's really an amazing opportunity for everyone to be independent financially. And also it changed the whole economy and the whole world, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't have access to bank accounts, and now they're actually able to create purchase, to sell something, or to buy anything that they want through the blockchain, which enable them to actually have access to things that they couldn't reach before. It could be different places like a war zone, or countries that don't have access to electricity or things like that. That it actually opens up so many opportunities also for every industry. If we're talking about music, for example, music industry, it has been changed so much through the NFT world. At the end of the day, today, a musician is working with a record label, for example, okay? So what happens is, for a musician, he gets 20% of the revenues and the record labels get 80% of the revenues. But today with the Web 2, every musician has, like, not everyone, but a lot of them has, hundreds and thousands and millions of followers on different platforms like Spotify, like SoundCloud, like YouTube, like Instagram. And the only component that was missing to actually create money or monetize it, it's the NFT. And the NFT enables them to actually create their own music on the blockchain, and they can sell it to their listeners without having a middleman, sorry. And the middleman, it's the beauty of NFT is that it's a peer-to-peer transaction. You don't have middlemen, you don't have intermediaries, you don't depend on anyone else. So you can actually create your own assets, and you can sell them directly to your audience and make money of it. So this is just mind-blowing, and it's just the beginning of it. We're all at just the beginning of it. So.
Yeah, well put. I think you'll see this theme coming up again and again, the idea of ownership and the idea of there not being a middleman, of being able to sort of sell directly to your customer, interact directly with your customer, and not have this sort of like tax collector that has to be a trusted authority kind of like, conducting that transaction. So sort of more to that point on the business side, Oz, for anyone here that might say, my business is perfectly fine without all this technology, like, why do I actually need this? What would you say to a person like that?
So I like that Tal mentioned we're at the beginning of this, but I think it's important now, and the reason is no one would start a business today without having their representation on social media. I know laundry shops that have a Facebook page or an Instagram page that give, laundry advice. And in my previous job, I was actually heading an accelerator. And one of the things we did is we helped small businesses to go online mid-COVID, because the small businesses that used to have business through word of mouth could no longer have business through word of mouth because there were no meetings and conferences, and all of a sudden everybody needed to be online. This is Web3. So in the same way that all of us as business owners need to have representation in Web 2, we all need to be in Web 3 as well. We just need to find our place and our way, and the right way to represent our business there. But Web 3 is here to stay. It's not a fad. Someone asked me when they came in. It's not a fad. It is the next iteration of the internet. So, we're here to for questions, but find a way to get your business on Web 3.
Yeah, and what do you think the consequences would be for a business that sort of chooses to treat this as a fad and not take it seriously?
So what I like about Web3 now is that because it's so early, a lot of customers that I work with actually enjoy the marketing aspect of Web3, which is, oh, you're the first, law firm that does something in Web3, or you're the first, clothing line or shoe line, or, first record label. And you, not only you are future proof, but also you gain a lot of attention and marketing from the fact that you participate in this. So I think that to come in early means that you're gonna be able to, test the water. You're gonna see what fits to your company, to your audience, and it's very much like any early adopters. Early adopters win a bigger pool.
Okay, next question for Tal Yaari. So you're on the other side of it, the content creator side of it. And you've made a career for yourself as a content creator. So how are the Metaverse and Web3 really affecting your business personally in your industry?
So first I have to say, when listening to Oz and Tal, I have to say that I am a believer in the NFT world and in the crypto world, because again, we have to take ownership. Ownership is everything. We all works also with contracts. We all works with tickets. We all work with the government. Everything is being forms and making sure what is your identity. So claiming your ownership in that world have so many different levels, and each one of them is, for me at least, valuable and a proof for something great that can happen in the future. As a content creator, for me at least, it's the easiest, because first, in the world of NFT, even if the world of crypto today, you see lots of art. You see a golden era of artists that's being able to approach their audience without the middleman. You see, as myself, as being a creator in the metaverse, there is so much room. I mean, I work with the fashion industry, so we've created skins, clothes to 3D avatars, and just imagine the possibilities of not only selling clothes and other items, other assets to avatars. You can create the avatars. You can create the world. You can create not not only the art and not only the music, but also the so if I'll take Minecraft, that you probably all know, just recently got into the Web3 world. And they got some of their lands in the NFT to sell in the NFT. So now I can actually purchase a land in Minecraft, develop it, have some assets or skin, or maybe even sell other items that I find inside Minecraft and sell them to other users, other players that come into Minecraft. So I mean, there is major potential here, not only by creating the content, but also by actually owning the content, of thinking about new ways to expand it. Also, I want to say one thing. Again, Metaverse is everything. For me, even this 360 camera that we have here, this virtual camera, I mean, that's something that they can take us into the Metaverse, into the virtual world, and help us present ourselves, not just here, but in another dimensions. So that's another example of how I use the technology as a content creator to take it into the virtual world.
If I may add something, you know that I actually planned to have a baby at the Metaverse. Okay, I just let you know. Last week I had a baby. Okay, today we had a breed for my boy. Thank you very much. And I actually planned to have a baby at the Metaverse. It was just a lot of work, and I planned it 2 weeks before I had a baby, so it was too rushed. But imagine the possibilities that I could create to bring awareness. I wanted to create a birth on a flower with a unicorn and bring a lot of women-related led projects to bring more eyeballs to women in the space. And I was planning to bring a lot of PR and a lot of people to participate in it and bring more awareness to, to women empowerment and to the voice of women. And I think that's the magic in the Metaverse and in the Web3, that you are actually able to do whatever you want on that Metaverse. You can be whatever you want. I wanted to be sitting on a flower, having a baby, everything virtual. I'm telling you, with arts of women around me, and just bring awareness to that thing. And that's the magic thing in the virtual world, that you can be and you can do whatever you want, and you can also, again, make money of it, or bring more voices out there. There's so many opportunities in this world. So I just wanted to add it out there.
Yeah, and piggybacking on that, I know that empowering women has been one of the kind of central tenets of the way that you've approached the work. Crypto has been described as the great equalizer because the barrier to entry is exactly the same for everyone. So what is a way that you see this kind of evolution impacting women and leveling the playing field?
I think it's amazing because since I'm on the Web3 space, I see so many opportunities for women that they don't have this opportunity in the real life. So a lot of women are being suppressed in their countries. They may be in a war zone, they may be in poverty areas, or they may be in violence areas, and they're not able to actually finance themselves. But now, when there's no middleman and there's a blockchain, there's an opportunity for every woman to be financially independent. There's an opportunity for every woman to bring her voice out. On Twitter, there's something called Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces, it's an audio app. Twitter has like an audio option to be on stage and have conversations. And you can see so many women are coming to the front and speaking themselves out when you cannot hear them in the real world. Another thing is that it's really amazing because on the real life, in corporate or in organizations, you can see the diverse, and still it is in 2022, which is very sad. You can see the difference between how much a woman making a month or how much a man is making. There's nothing like that on the Web3. Everyone is equal. There's no gender, there's no language, there's no country, there are no colors, there's nothing. There's just human beings. Everyone is the same. And that's the beauty of it. Women can actually be independent financially. I see it so many times on different spaces that I'm hosting or I'm taking part of. I'm always bringing women to the front, and you see so many beautiful arts that being sold. Women from Africa that are selling arts that they can never sell. They could never make money. Someone is buying their art, one piece, and they are feeding their whole family for the month, which is incredible. And women in the space, I think that the more we're going to bring women to the space, the more this world is going to be equalized, the more we're going to empower women. And I think this is my mission, at least. I do a lot of things around this, and I think it's the beauty of the Web3.
For Oz, another thing that's come out of all of this is with new technology comes new opportunities, new positions, new types of jobs. So what are some sort of examples of what you're seeing in that realm?
One of my clients, he's an attorney. He's actually an inventor and has a law firm supporting him. And up until recently, he was selling his patents through these crazy big contracts. Today, he has it on NFT. He sells the NFT. That person has a proof of ownership and the ability to use his patent. And it's a simple transaction on the blockchain versus lawyers reading contracts and doing all that. So I think, anybody can find the utility, and it's something that in Web3 and NFT, we talk about a lot about utility, which is the benefit of the NFT. It's whatever industry you're in, you need to find the relevant utility for it, and then kind of grow from there. So I think that's exciting that anybody can use this technology, whatever their industry is.
I'm curious, do either of you see examples of that, either like new types of jobs, new types of career opportunities that you see kind of blossoming in this space?
Yeah, I actually see a lot of things that coming into the Web 3 space, but I wanted to just give an imagination of at least my end game, because I mean we are here. I think all of us are kind of pioneers. I mean we hear lots of noises around. People say, "Hey guys, that's not going to work. That's money laundering. That's like, why are you investing in JPEGs?" I heard that so many times. And for me at least, we are doing here something unique, and we are, again, the frontier of making this world a better place through economic and through ownership. And there is few things that I think that, like, if we have the government embracing NFTs and our taxes will be delivered through NFTs, regardless to cryptocurrency, yes, no on cryptocurrency, I mean, everything will be much easier, much safer. Think about identity theft. Think about today's identity theft. How many people here know someone that's been affected because of that? So we have real opportunity to claim our identity, our bank account, our connection through the government. So I mean, I'm not thinking small here. I'm not thinking about being shop owner in the metaverse. We can change the world through NFT and through cryptocurrency. That's what we are trying to do here.
To your question about the jobs. No, but it's true. Every word is true, and it's such an important point. We're changing the world here. We're not looking for the hype to make money on a JPEG. We're changing the economy, and that's the magic of this Web3. But to your question about job opportunities, that was the question. It's like I feel like I am 16 years back, because when social media started, when I started to be on the Web 2, I was on Web 1 already, a long time ago. But then Web 2 started, and I remember that I started to build websites from learning online coding and actually learning by myself everything. And there were no jobs like social media manager or, website builder. It was just a fiction, and when I established the first college in Israel for social media in 2011, and I remember the first interview I had on television, and he was kind of mocking me for building a college for social media. Like, who's going to use social media? That's ridiculous. Who cares about Facebook? The only person who's going to make money from Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg. That's, I remember the guy who interviewed me said that on live, on television. And I said, no, you will see. Everyone is going to be there, etc. And it was the beginning of everything, and you couldn't find a job description named social media manager. So today, I run my company, and I'm looking for all the time people that are from Web3 to work with, content creators, writers, community managers, etc. It is a process to find them and educate them. We are a really small percentage of people right now that are involved in Web3. It's really, I know that there are 360,000 people in the world who own an NFT. That's the number. A lot of people are on Web3, but owning NFT, it's really a ridiculous small number of people that I guess we include in that. And so it's a process. It's a learning curve. I'm sure, and I believe in the NFT world and in the crypto and in Web3 in 1,000,000%, even though there are ups and downs all the time. Like in everything, there's going to be an explosion, and maybe we are at that because there's a big dip right now. But but we're all going to see how it's going to rise because it cannot be. The world need the Web3. It's a life-changing for so many people. It's equalizing everyone, and it's just a magical way to actually have ownership on your assets and create your own money by yourself without the need of approval from big social media organizations or banks or and I'm not saying that they're not going to be banks. Who knows? I'm not deleting everything, but things are going to be different, and it's going to be easier to actually transact money and make money as well.
So shifting a little into what's maybe practical, a lot of the questions I'm seeing come up on the board are about kind of how to get involved, how to get started. So maybe one of you, whoever feels like you want to take it, what is the best way to kind of like take the first step in getting involved in Web3?
I think maybe you can answer that because so first of all, I have to say a few things here. First of all, I have to say, guys, get into Bitcoin. I'm a strong believer
Not
of
a financial
Bitcoin.
advice.
Not financial advice.
Not
Do
a
your own
financial
research.
advice.
Not a
Do your own
financial
research.
advice.
YOR.
But so I will begin one step backward and do your own research. Always do your own research. Don't trust me. Never trust me. Never trust anyone. Do your own research and make sure you are enthusiastic about what you are getting into, because you are going to hear lots of noises, and at the same time, it's a vision. Everything here it's a vision. But for me at least, there is magical thing about Bitcoin. The more you dive more into Bitcoin, before you are talking about all the other economy there is behind it. There is something magical about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the North Star of the entire crypto world. I won't elaborate it on it now. And then and after you're doing your own research and feeling enthusiastic about projects, this guy here, he works in Coinbase, and I think that's a great entry point to get inside the crypto world.
I am not here officially representing Coinbase. I just want to make that very clear. However, in 2014, I was one of the first Coinbase customers, and I think that it is as good a place as any to get into crypto. But let's say that I want to buy an NFT, or I want to just like look at NFTs or know what NFTs are, or maybe learn more about what the cool NFT communities are. Where is a good place to start with that?
So I'll just say like anything new that you want to learn. It's not necessarily something, yeah. Um, Google. Um, Google anything you don't know, you start there. And then start reading. I love, by the way, newsletters. There's several really good newsletters in the space that are kind of summarizing a lot of the projects or a lot of the news that exists there that I love to skim through every morning. Their YouTubes. Follow people on LinkedIn. Like any other information that you want to learn about, you can find more about it. And then find something that you're passionate about. There's so many projects that come out every day. And find something that you're passionate about. You know, if it's a specific project that represents a community or represents a cause or represents a utility that you care about, then go and, you know, participate in the community. One of the amazing things that happen in NFT is that it comes with a community. It comes with a lot of people. Everybody, it's very part of the culture of NFT. Everybody's very welcoming. If you ask, there's no dumb questions. So just participate in the community of a project, a passion project, and then you can start investing. But I think that way of like learning and immersing yourself into it and then participating with other people will make you feel comfortable and will make you feel supported in through all of it.
So I'm going to add to the wonderful things that have been said here. Audio apps, okay? I started my journey on Clubhouse last year. Clubhouse, it's an audio app where you can actually listen to people sitting on stage and talking about different subjects. And I became very savvy on Clubhouse. I've started to build my own community and started to create my own rooms. And I started to listen to all the NFT creators and rooms that talked about it. And that's how I got familiar with NFT. And then I transferred myself to Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces are dedicated to NFTs. Let me rephrase. There are a lot of subjects on Twitter Spaces that people are talking about, but most of the people who are related to NFTs are on the Twitter Spaces, and therefore I'm there a lot, hosting spaces and listening and learning all the time. Because, by the way, there are no experts here on this sofa. We are all students, okay? This market, this space is changing all the time. We are all learning all the time. We are, earlier, so we know a little bit more, but everyone here can start now and be a pioneer and, an expert in the future, because the more you are taking part of conversations and learning and reading and understanding, the more you dive deep into it, the future is bright for you, and it's going to be more clear and more easy for you to dive into that.
Yeah, I would add podcasts to that. That's a really, really good way to get started. Just look up NFTs for beginners or crypto for beginners. There's some really, really great podcasts.
Can I add something? So I think that for myself there is a couple of approaches here, and also there is few major players in the NFT world. Even if you check them out, check what they are doing, I think that they are doing an amazing work. Players like Yuga Labs and Pan Comics. I mean, there is few different projects that really you can see their entire future and what they are aiming through. And on the other hand, and this is the second approach, there is few projects that bringing real utility inside and something that can actually change the way that we think about the internet and we think about the metaverse and we think about actually the real world. So the other approach will be to check those projects out, because there is lots of interesting projects that can really impact our life in the near future or in the far future.
Let's take a few questions from the audience now. Does anyone have anything that they are curious about? Mickey.
Yes, you can't see me because of the light.
Yes.
So I'm a very big crypto and the entire blockchain technology fan and enthusiast. I like how it's based. I like what it does. And I learn it and I invest in it. However, I took so many courses in class to
I can just start by say audio apps. Seriously, listen. You have to learn. I mean, you can't go to OpenSea and which one? There's anything that one. Oh, which audio app? Clubhouse. Which room? Any room says
Tal's
NFT.
clubhouse room.
You can come to my rooms. Any NFT conversations, because you look, NFT, it's a whole different language, like crypto, okay? It's a language you learn. And you can't go to OpenSea and open an account and upload a JPEG if you don't understand what you're doing, because you might lose, you might do something wrong, etc. So you have to start, observe, and listen before you are doing anything. It's very important. Now, a lot of people want to invest in NFT, okay? Let's say they learned how to open a MetaMask, etc. Now they want to invest. How do you know what to invest in? Okay, so when you invest in an NFT project, there are a few components, few things that you have to pay attention to. The first thing is who is the team of that project? Who are the people behind it? Are there doxed? Are there people who have actually history? Can you read about them? Do you know who they are? Because a lot of projects have people who are anonymous, and then there might be a rug pull. Rug pull means that they might be fake, or they might take your money and run away. You want to make sure that you are familiar with the team. You want to make sure you are checking the community. Community is a very important component here. If there is a strong community, a strong story, and a strong purpose for that project, then you can dive in if you're feeling related to. It is very important to check who are this community, what do they do, what do they talk about, are they passionate about it? I can tell you that I invested in something just because of their community, not because even the art. It's just, there are so many amazing projects out there, so you have to pay attention to that. And also make sure you understand what's the purpose and what's the utility, what's the roadmap, like what's the future plans of that project. Okay, so it's team, community, and roadmap. Roadmap, it's actually the future plans of that project. Do they have a future plans, or they're just a hype opening now just to sell some JPEGs? So you have to learn and understand every project if you want to invest into it. And to start, it's really starting to learn before you invest any penny in anything. Don't just, because you might lose, you might win, and it's a risk taking. It's okay to take risks, but learn all the time. Learn. We're in a learning phase. I'm learning every day. Everyone here is learning all the time. We're failing and succeeding all the time as we go. And remember that any money that you invest ever, it's extra money that you have. It's not money that you pay for rent and not money that you pay for food. It's an extra money that you are able to invest and might lose.
I'll give two websites that I use up until it was one. I think one of them was actually the first one that I used when I just started, and it's called Inevitable. They have a newsletter. They have an email course that you get every day content for like a week, and then you can start learning from their website more. And the other one is called NFT Evening. It's actually like a legit media company now, which is another one that I like. They actually send text messages every day with like a short blurb about projects and news in the space. And even today that I'm month after my starting of this journey, I still find it useful. So I feel like it's okay for both. So I would start with that. And then, I don't know, go to YouTube and search the word, what is an NFT, or what's new with NFT, or whatever keyword that is of interest to you, and start watching and learning.
I'll also say that Coinbase has a bunch of educational kind of hands-on programs that I would highly recommend.
When I began my my quest in crypto, I mean, not in the beginning, but after a while, I opened up a Coinbase account, and actually I got money back for discovered altcoins and different coins. So not only that, and now I know that Coinbase also have an NFT market. So
Coinbase Instagram.
so
It's the new one.
yeah, the idea of simplifying it's, I mean, again, it's like the internet. So if you are looking on 97, everything is super complicated, and you need to find the web browser and find the category that you want and go inside. But then, if you are going to 2005, you have an amazing experience, and you have Google, and you have YouTube, and you finally have new social media and Web 2 is coming alive. So this is the evolution here. Today, if you are going into Coinbase, you would find yourself. You can find great investment opportunities. But then, listen to Tal. Search for the right community. Search for the place that you find interesting. Search for the utility that you can get involved with, definitely.
Also, just to kind of a specific detail, like a place like Clubhouse is not just listening to people talk about these things. You can ask questions. It's perfectly acceptable to go like, how do I buy an NFT in a Clubhouse room? And someone will help you do it. So these communities are there for you to actually interact with people who can give you like real hands-on help.
Or Twitter Spaces. This is even more. I mean, Twitter Spaces enables you to learn everything you want.
When I began to explore the world, I first like, buy, and then we did the research, and now I'm the other way around. First, I'm doing all the research, finding the right community, going into Discord, talking with other people, making sure there is no like 90% bots, because again, because it's new, there is so many scams, so many people will say like, this is not true, they will try to take your money. I mean, you need, again, to do your own research and make sure you are going with it and without risking, making sure that it's also an experiment for us. We hope it will be an experiment for everyone, for the entire world. It's an experience that can change it.
Other audience questions? Please.
Yeah. 100%. The beauty of it, we don't all have to be artists, okay? The NFT world bring opportunity for everyone. You can be, if someone is a lawyer, he can now be a lawyer on the Web3, and or any of whatever you do in the real life or in the Web2, you can bring it to the Web3. So there are so many opportunities, especially now that everything is so new, and there are few from everything. There are few marketeers, and there are few, lawyers. There are few accountants. There are few people with shops that are online. And you can bring everything to the Web3. And because everything is so new, you're going to be one of the first ones. So you are pioneering, and the more the time goes, you're going to get stronger and stronger in the industry. So you can be an investor, a host, a collector, an expert on marketing. You can do yoga sessions on the Web3. You can do courses. You can do membership clubs. You can do gym or workout or whatever you want. You can do that on the Web3. There are so many amazing examples for the usage of Web3, not only for artists, for everyone. So it was a great question. I wanted to talk about it before, but it's a great question.
Yeah, and I have to say that specifically about looking in the metaverse, you can see there is lots of opportunities also for shop owners, for homeowners, for real estate, for architects, for other industries that are not just artists, but other industries that are coming from our world into the metaverse, and then vice versa. Because things that will happen in the metaverse, I'll promise you, will affect our real life. It's going to be a relationship going both ways.
Other questions from the audience? Yes. I'm trying to decide whether to go down that rabbit hole or not. Personally, I'm a very, very strong believer in Ethereum. I think the community is very strong. I think the technical backbone of Ethereum is very, very strong, and I'm a big believer in it personally. I also think there's room for lots of competing technologies to have an edge in various areas. So I think we'll see how it plays out. I don't know if any of you have opinions on
Only
that.
because of Ethereum. So I mean, we're good with that.
I know you're a Bitcoin maximalist, but
Oh no, definitely. I'm again. Bitcoin is for me is the pole of everything. But
people have their team, just like in any space, and I think people have a lot of passion about these things. But yeah, personally, I think Ethereum is very, very powerful. But I also think that the space changes constantly, and you never know what amazing new thing is going to come out in a few weeks.
Yeah, there are different currencies you can trade NFTs. It's not only Ethereum. That answered the questions.
Yeah, great question.
So as a creator, the creator of the NFT, you have the ability to choose how to price your project in the same way that you would price any product that you would sell. There are kind of camps of, should I price it premium in order to, convey that it's a premium product, or am I inclusive and I want to make my product accessible, so I'll, start low and then let the community basically raise the bar. So there is no right or wrong, and I don't know that it's based on effort. It's a lot of the times based on, any other thing, anything like, in the same way that you would, if you design a clothing brand, where do you want to go? What's nice about it is that that's the beginning, and your community, your fans, the people who believe in you, will decide where it goes, if it goes up or if it goes down. Because if you don't give them value in time, then they'll abandon the project and it will go down. So there are a lot of projects that started well, went up, and then the community saw that there's no more investment, and the community dropped the project, and then it lost all its value. So what I will say is, if you go into it, I would like that the people who choose to go into it are committed to the project, and not, it's not a side hustle. It needs to be your product or part of your product, and something that you invest for, just like any other company that you start. You don't drop it in the middle, because then your project will lose value. The community will actually oust you as someone that, started something and is not there for the long run.
I about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I minted a Bored Ape Yacht Club ape, and then like after a few months I sold it, and today this project like worth I don't hundreds of ether per one ape.
108 this morning, I think.
Yeah, I mean Omer Adam
floor.
recently bought one for
Yeah, but I'm just saying it. 108 ETH. It's approximately, I think it's today 300K. Yeah, that's
so
the floor. That's the lowest price for this ape.
So I mean, and when I purchased it, it was 0.8. So I mean, that's the price they initially thought it will. They offered it for, and then it went for 108, which is today. And there is lots of side projects for Bored Ape working on other projects. On the other hand, there is great projects that called ENS. ENS is basically owning, like you are owning a website, like you are owning a web page, let's say Wix.com, or I don't know. So you can own Wix.eth, which is Ethereum. And ENS is a great example of how you can own a web page that people can buy in 0.0005 in the ENS website. And today, if you have, I don't know, Windows.it, you can probably sell it for 50 Ether or for 80 Ethereum. And it's just project that's going up and up and up. So that's a great example of how, I mean, it's not about just about the value that coming from great projects that becoming a blue chip and have a great roadmap. It's also a question of utility and how a great utility can get very far, and this value is just increasing dramatically from day to day because more people want to be on board. More people want to be owners of the its website, of the it browser.
So I'm part of a project that I actually got my first NFT for free. And today it's worth 1 ETH. So it really depends what's behind it and if the buyers see value. So it's got nothing to do with how you start. It's, the longevity of the project.
I can give also an example of the World of Women. I don't know if you heard about that project, but it's, again, I'm a very big women advocate. And when I saw it, I think I bought it for like 1.2 ETH, and today it's worth approximately 8. I mean, maybe the deep that is now, maybe made it 6 ETH, but I think it's 8 ETH. And it just because I believed in the cause, I believed in the community, I saw, excuse me, I saw what they are doing in the space. They've been affecting so many women, the women rights, and they've been working with women from all over the world, and they've created those characters that are resonated with me and with other women. So I saw the community, I saw how they behave, I saw the team. I just investigated in really understanding who's behind the project, what kind of community, and what is their roadmap, what is the plan for the future, why are they there, what are they bringing, what kind of value they're bringing to everyone. And that's why I invested in them while ago, and now they're really increased because of the community, because of all those components that are working very well for them. So. Don't put all the eggs in one basket. That's what I can say for sure. But then let them speak as well.
I feel it's in the same way. Like, invest in several projects. And the NFT is funny in a way that stocks aren't, where you actually connect to the project. And a lot of the times people will hold it because they actually want to stay involved with a project versus really flip it for gain. So I think, even diversifying in this, things that you buy for financial gain, and things that you buy because, you enjoy it just as you would buy anything else that you enjoy.
Let's take maybe 2 more questions. In the back?
What was the first question? Sorry. What wallets should they use? They said.
Maybe I should take that one.
Here, Colin.
We
wait.
just had a good
Again, that
conversation
guy
about it.
going.
I'm not going to speak to that because I'm not here officially representing Coinbase. But I will speak to the wallet question. Coinbase wallet and MetaMask wallet are the 2 most popular. I think they're equally easy to use, and I would say that, yeah, the barrier to entry is pretty low for both. So those are I think the 2 most common ones. The difference between a hardware and software wallet. So a software wallet, you have a private key, which is essentially your password to all the things that you own. A software wallet, that key is stored on your computer. And theoretically, if it's on your computer, which is connected to the internet, that is a less safe place for it than is maybe ideal, especially if you have a lot of assets attached to it. A hardware wallet, the key sits on, I actually have one here. So you have a device like this, that's like a little USB key. And the private key stays on the hardware device, and the hardware device is never connected to the internet. And so theoretically, it is more safe because the internet never sees that data. The internet only sees the signatures that are generated by that key. So it's definitely recommended to have a hardware wallet if you're dealing in large amounts of assets. I'd say for most people, a software wallet is fine. And oftentimes, like MetaMask and Coinbase Wallet will connect to your hardware wallet, so you can sort of have the best of both worlds. If you lose a hardware wallet, there is no way to get it back.
I have to.
Yes, and of course there's backups of this, and it's password protected, and if you enter the wrong password, it destroys itself. There's all sorts
He
of
doesn't
protection.
have to have it here.
And there's no money on it.
He doesn't.
I brought it just to show it off.
Yeah, there's a guy who went to the Meta Gala, I think, with a ledger hanged on his necklace. I forgot his name. So
Yeah, someone famously showed off a ledger on TV, and it had like.
So
5
I have to
million.
say something. In addition to that one, there is places. I know that Robinhood today, but they are changing it. But there is lots of places that you don't actually own your cryptocurrency. And Robinhood for now is a great example because you can go into Robinhood, buy Bitcoin, but you don't actually hold the key to the Bitcoin. So basically you are just investing on the specs if you want. So what I recommend following that one is that way or another, make sure that Coinbase, MetaMask, whatever, make sure that you own the private key to your wallet, because that private key is your funds. And there is places that you can give your Bitcoin to and get percentage and get interest and get whatever, and that's fine. I'm into that actually. But again, you don't own the Bitcoin or your currency in that case. They own it. And if they bankrupt, you won't see your money. So always make sure that you have the key to your money. As always, I mean, it's different from going to the bank, invest the money, and trust them. Make sure that you trust yourself. This is what we talked about in the last 1 hour.
I always say when you have a seed phrase, write it on a piece of paper. Don't put it on your phone or computer. Write it on a piece of paper, eat it, and never shit again. Not a financial advice.
Definitely not financial advice. Yeah. So there are companies like Coinbase that have custody over funds, and custody generally is in cold storage, meaning that companies like Coinbase will have cold wallets that they store funds in. But usually it's with a company that is sort of handling lots of exchanges. There's a combination of both. Say that again? Yeah, I can't really get into that. To be honest, that is not the part of the company that I am like even privy to. So yeah, but we can talk the technicals offline. Okay, one more question. There in the back.
So when I was 18, I went to a workshop, self-improvement workshop, and at the end of the day, everyone had to say his dream, his biggest dream. And there was a guy over there. It was 20 years ago, and there was a guy over there who was like, into economics and CPA and understood everything about finance. And he told me, I have a dream. He told everyone, I have a dream. I want to change the economic system of the world today. And I have an idea of what this economic system is supposed to be. Now, that guy is probably isn't Satoshi, but
Vitaly?
no, I'm pretty sure he isn't. But for me at least, that's the vision that guy had, because I mean, if we all, and that's why I think banks, not just, I mean, in the entire world, but you see in Israel that banks are fighting cryptocurrency, and they are fighting to give people approach to take their money they invested in cryptocurrency and take it into fiat money, into regular money. And the reason that they are doing that they are afraid. They are afraid of new financial system that changing all the rules that we had in the old system. And again, when we are getting when we are getting our control back over the finance, and we are avoiding the banks, not only they are afraid, we are saving money. And in the money that being saved, we can do all of different stuff. And that is what's amazing here.
I just want to say a scoop that you just said that Satoshi is basically an Israeli guy that you met 20 years ago. No one got that.
Satoshi being the inventor of Bitcoin, that is sort of a mysterious figure, and no one knows who they are. So I think we're gonna wrap up. I want to end on one final note, which is let's go down the line and everyone say what is the project that you're most excited about right now, or just aspect of the world of crypto that you're most excited about.
There are so many.
You talking about a specific project we working on, or in general?
It could be something you're working on, or just an aspect of the world.
Yeah, thanks for that. Because the one that I'm most excited about, I'm on an NDA, so I can't say much. I will say, and I mentioned it to you when we talked before. There's a project that a company that makes your CV as an NFT. And if you think about that, what I liked about it is that the idea is that they take your CV, they strip it from your details, and then they put it on up for sale. And if the company wants to meet the person behind the CV, they basically buy the NFT. That means that you make money before you're hired. And I just thought it was brilliant. And I thought that it was first a really innovative way to reinvent HR and recruiting and marketing of candidates. And, you know, it's a very competitive world now because it's so hard to find good people. And then they actually took the technology and really used it in the proper way. So that's one of the projects I'm very excited about.
Very, very cool.
For me, I'm actually working on something that is, for me, like a mission in life. I'm building kind of a nonprofit for women in need in the world that is going to enable women from all over the world to sell their art in the nonprofit and bring pool of money into the nonprofit, and everyone is going to get equal financial independency from that. I am planning to bring a lot of artists that are known artists to sell their arts, and then we can contribute that to different donations related to women in war, women in poverty, women in violence, anything related to really helping women where they cannot be helped, where in places in the world that they cannot have access to making money or finance themselves or their children or their families, etc. And I'm gonna have Robin on the with me in that.
So first of all, of course, Bitcoin, it will always be there, and it's so important. But then,
No financial advice.
Not financial advice.
you know, they're saying it, not me. But again, after that, I would say that as far as the Metaverse, Bored Ape Yacht Club just launched their Metaverse project.
The other side.
It's called The Other Side. And I think it's going to be just mind-blowing. The amount of possibilities, plus the amount of finance that's behind that project, plus the enthusiastic of the audience, of their community, is just something that can help push the entire Metaverse world, and specifically the gaming. And when I'm talking about gaming, I mean GPU, and I mean user interaction, and I mean really taking the world as we know it today and push the boundaries into the next world of the imagination, of the virtual world, and our world at the end of the day.
Amazing. Let's have a hand for all of these guys. Tal, and Oz. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And Mickey, you want to say a final word?
So first of all, guys, I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank for everyone that came and arrived today. Just so you know, regarding to Edge and the membership, Maya, she's right over there, can register you if you want to have any questions about the membership, what it is, about the community, what do we do. We have many events, really cool events similar to this one. And regarding right now, we're going to disconnect everything, put some music. Whoever want to stay can stay and chill. And there's still, I think there's more tacos. And feel free to also come to me and ask any questions regarding Edge, Lead, or anything like that, and also with the IC. And once again, I want everyone to give a hand for these amazing speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you.